Okay, so we're going to talk about the obligation kohain would eat, right? The kohain would eat from the kachim, the kohain would eat from the korban, and then that would atone for the owner of the korban, the owner of the sacrifice. So that's what we find in our Parsha in Parshas Titzaveh. And it's very interesting. Komarna explains that food has a tremendous power. We know that achila, that he points out, is achal yud kei. The person eats and he's able to access very, very high levels. It's yud kei, Hashem, right? Hashem created this world with the hay and the next world with the yud. It brings you, it shines in the next world to this world. Mm-hmm. That's one of the ka, that's one of the it's good things. Shines in the or into this world, or the next world into this world. That's what it does. That's what it is. And the power of eating is not a simple thing. It's just when a person did an avera, he gives shefa to the other side. He says, so the fact that you mamayit the kedusha, you diminished holiness. He said that one of the ways of overcoming is fasting. Not that we're recommending fasting, we can't really fast today. But there is such a thing. The idea of a fast is that you take back, because you limit your intake now. You take in a certain way take back what you did before. Now we know that being tzaddik brings a person to it's like a tremendous taking of fasting. Like there's many ways of accessing the order of fasting. You cannot eat something that you want to have. There are various ways and various things that you can do in order to try to access the orb of Tanis. Learning a certain amount. Australia is very powerful for Tanis. There are many different things you can do to try to access the orb of the tikkun, the rectification of a fast. When a fast comes up, we're coming into Fast of Ester now. So when a fast comes up, it's kedai to grab it like it's mamash a cake. It's mamash the biggest thing, the most wonderful opportunity of fast, because a fast has the power. It fixes the katnus. Mekor it says. The best we would say is like you're eating a cake. Now there's so many tikkunim with a fast. So you do a fast, you get like the unbelievable things. So you can't fast because you're not on a level. When you have a fast, it's obligatory to grab hold. Mekor says it fixes the katnus. And it's interesting. The Mekor Chaim here, I'm already sort of doing Tanis Ester too, I guess. So the Mekor Chaim says about Tanis Ester that Tanis Ester is a different type of fast, a different grade of fast than most other fasts. In most other fasts that we are obligated to fast, besides Erev Pesach, for B'choros or for someone who wants to eat matzah bread, and Erev Shavuos for those who would do it, there wasn't obligatory for those who would do it, right? Tanis Ester is the only time when there's a good fast. He said usually fast that you have that fix something that's a stigma, mostly a problem. Generally speaking, fasts, when a person wants to fast, there's a day that, the 17th of Tammuz, right? The 10th of Tevis, Tisha B'Av. Of course, Yom Kippur is a totally different bechina. It's also a beautiful and good thing, fine, that's for sure. But the general other fast of the year, besides Yom Kippur and Yom Kippur, it's totally different bechina. But besides that, what happens is that when you fast, you have to deal with the problem. Why are you fasting in your office of Tammuz? Because there's a problem. So you fast to fix the problem. So it's kind of it's not the most fun time. You're not supposed to go out and do things that are, it's not so appropriate to go shopping on these days. Like, it's not the day to do this sort of thing. You go to roller coasters or something. It's not, eating, but it's not appropriate. Tanis Ester is not like that. Tanis Ester is a good fast. Tanis Ester is pretty much because we want to get the or of Purim, which is like Kabbalah Torah, and you want to do that through fasting. So Nassim, of course, says, his usual is beautiful. He said, when the person wants to get to a place where he's so filled with holy bashfulness, he doesn't want to pick up the spoon to eat it. He can't eat anything because he's just so yearning for Hashem, so much holiness. So he just, that's the proper preparation for Purim, to take it in properly. Okay, very nice, 100%. But this bechina of Tanis is a big. This Tanis Ester is a big thing because it's mostly just to prepare for beautiful Kabbalah Torah from Ahava that we have in Purim. He said, even though it becomes because they ate from the Suda of Achashverosh, so that was a sin, he said, that's not the main point. Unlike other things, it's not the main point. The main point is not something happened that got messed up, and there's a weakness, kivyachol, of this day every year that we have to deal with by fasting. He's like, no. No, definitely not. He's like, this is a day that's mostly, it's a joyous day, it's a good day, it's a more lenient fast in some ways because it's just not as strong as anything else. You're preparing for something. That's the same thing with the chassan of preparing. One of the things you prepare, you fast to prepare. It's not a yearly fast, hopefully, right? It's what it is the fast of a chassan is that one to preparing to to get married, basically, right? He's the right person, So that's also a good kind of fast. That's how he explains this. That's the koch, the merdika koyach, the merdika thing that you do. And he says that every time you eat, he actually says there, he says that eating is like a korban, like the Zohar says in Truma. Eating is like a korban. He says that when you eat, he says a korban has three aspects. Here, we may as well go the whole thing, right? A korban has three aspects. It has an aspect of the kohanim b'avodosam, the Leviim mishiram, right? The kohanim do the avodah, the Levi sing. And Yisrael Mother, Yisrael when they're standing. They're standing there and saying what they say. So he said, kohanim b'avodosam is the kavana when you eat. If you have right kavana, that's your avodah. That's our avodah. We know that the Kamelach says, about Tshuva especially, in general, when you eat, when you drink, Shem Shavos Bizochas to make brachas properly, it says that the sparks of that a person blew it and messed up and fell because of his actions come back in the food he eats, and if he makes the right bracha, he picks them up, these beautiful sparks. So that's the first thing to be aware of. Like they take the power of a bracha and even with kavanah, you're supposed to have kavanah to pick up the sparks. Now, number two, we said Levi Bashir. The songs of Levi, you're supposed to say some kind of mizmor in the middle of your eating. Either an Arshbavel or Shir Malo. Svardim say Lakim Yechanenu, right? They say whatever mizmor they say on test. So that's the song of a Levi. He said, and benching is Yisrael Mamadim, the Jewish people who would set the regular Jew, the Israeli, not Kohan, not Levi, just regular Jews who sat there and said different things, right? So those three aspects has to do with, that's when you eat. He said, when you fast here, the Zohar there comes out that you get a higher bechina. When you eat, you give a very, very strong, you have life force in accordance with your kavan, in accordance with what you ate, how you ate. That all has to do with how much life force you have. And the way Rav Nosson explains the Kutalachas is that means your ability to take in and come out with clear understanding of what you need to do from the Torah. Connect to the light of Torah. Connecting to the light of Torah. So it's again, it's the opposite of that. Where they get in your way and make it very hard to connect to the Torah. We have to be able to connect to the light of Torah. We have to be able to through the food, not the, remember Nachman talks about the food that ate the wrong way, a person who doesn't have the Maschachamis and whatever he's supposed to do, whatever happens, all these different things. So then what happens, a person at a certain point, there's negative aspect, the food goes up to his head and confuses him. Rav Nosson explains, this idea is a spiritual thing, and he just cannot come out with what to do and how to connect to Hashem properly through the Torah. He cannot learn Torah properly. He cannot connect to Hashem properly through the Torah. So we have to get things together. And the first thing to understand is that, again, you want to get the life force from the food that's proper, that enables you to get it together, to be focused, to stay focused, and knowing what to do and how to do it. This idea of the Musacham. So, you get life force from the food you eat. He said when you fast, you get a higher life force. That's what Nosson explains about, right? So there's a certain bechina which is even a higher life force. That's what the Mekor Chaim brings. So he says that's the bechina. This is a fast. You don't get a higher life force in order to fix a bad day. On a Tanis you get a higher life force in order to prepare yourself for the incredible light of Purim. Fine, very, very nice. So he said that's the aspect of what you do when you fast. He said, and then you have to also fix the fact that you gave the other side too much blessing. How do you do that? He said, that's eating the korbanos. He said, and to this day, tzaddikim are able to be zoche in their teshuvah, in their times they can bring up, they can do tremendous things. That's what we know from the Vilna Gaon. It's very well known. That someone asked the Vilna Gaon about the Vilna Gaon. They gave us a shindal or something. They asked this dibuk or something, whatever it was. They asked from this heavenly creature, whatever exactly. They said, "What do you think about the Vilna Gaon? He doesn't fast." He said, "Oy vavoy, we're so afraid of his food. His eating is terrible. Like he destroys, completely eradicates all the other side. Because his eating is so much to Shem Shemayim, it's much, much higher than a fast." So the way the Komarna says, he said, "Why do only kohanim get to eat?" He said, "How come only kohanim get to eat? Why not anybody or someone on the level?" He said, "Who's going to say I'm on the level?" Hashem chose a person as a kohen. He gave him a special power. He's a shliach of Hashem. A kohen is a shliach of Hashem. He has a koyach when he's doing avodah. It's given. That's how Tzaddik explains here. Tzaddik again. That's what Tzaddik explains why in the world, like the Rabbi Yehuda says, why did the Chassidim say L'Shem Yichud Kudu B'Richu Shchinte? One of the things he had a taina about. So first of all, L'Shem Yichud Kudu B'Richu Shchinte. If you say this, it helps you focus more on what you're doing very often. So that's why we do it. But the Rabbi Yehuda says you don't have to do it for sure. He's not into it, and he says you don't have to do it because kohanim when they bring korbanos, they have a machshava. They don't have to say the Shem Hashem. They have a machshava. It's enough. You see, machshava is enough. But Tzaddik says no, it's not a proof because a kohen is a shliach of Hashem. He's a special koach of Hashem, and he can do it, but anybody else can't necessarily do it.
But Kohanim didn't say L'Shem Yichud, but
no, they didn't say L'Shem Yichud. So
for sure.
Yes, you have to say L'Shma, not L'Shma. Yeah, L'Shma, not L'Shma. Like, it has to do with their machshav. It's clear. It has to do with their thoughts. And that's of a pigel. He didn't have to say anything. Right? He was always thinking. So that's not who's raya. That's what Tzaddik debunks the raya kivyachol or argues the raya. So he says it's not a proof. So
they're saying that for sure no Kohen ever said a L'Shem Yichud before he did it.
It's not necessary. That was his point. You see, it's not necessary because it's not explained as a raya. It's not explained as it's not brought that that's what he needs to do. The Gemara there is very careful of the minutia of what you thought. Did you have stam thought? Do you think for the Bailim? Did you think this? What about this? It's dealing solely in thought there. And
I'd say other Rabbi, the L'Shem Yichud would be more necessary to make sure that they thought of it properly.
If it was normal to say L'Shem Yichud, Parshas would have told us that. Like, it was pretty clear. Maybe he brings even more. Maybe it says clearly not. But either way, I don't remember. But either way, like, I don't remember from the different time. But like either way, the Maisa, there's absolutely no indication like that. It seems not like that because it says the thoughts. The truth of the Chaim of Tzan's Tanis, he Tanis that why would he says why would a kohen blow it? What would make a kohen blow it? Why would he think a wrong thought? So the Chaim says, he says if the Bailam were not worthy and they didn't have pure intentions, so the kohen got the wrong thought, and they either the kohen was completely invalid, or if it wasn't completely invalid, it was at least not good for the owner because the owner was not. Didn't have pure.
Does he have to pay if he?
That's why he doesn't have to pay. No,
he doesn't have to pay if he.
Nicker, but doesn't have to pay for a shogeg. If he did it by accident, he didn't mean to. If he wants to be in mendacious, so I'm going to teach you. I don't like you.
But they still have to go buy a new animal.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's you. That's what he told us. He said you did it. I didn't do it. Komarna, he said people on the level, the kohen didn't do it. He didn't do it. You did. You had to have pure intention. That was his. That's again the same idea. But it's only machshav. You're not supposed to work that hard. You're supposed to be connected. And you're supposed to be. That's why we're talking the whole time about all these thoughts. They have the wrong thoughts. The Kohanim, why would they have wrong thoughts? There's a reason we know. There's certain things that you're not allowed to do midrabanan. We let them do because there's a reason. It means they're careful. So this is what the Komarna says. It says you're not on the level. Tzaddikim can do it. The achal kash, they can be zoche to bring down these murdik iris and murdik things, and the ma'isa there's a koyach. A person he has to understand he has a koyach, the kavana. How I eat has to do. He's like mamish doing avodah of a kohen, and he's out to the shmaya of course, but there's tremendous power taking the right way. Hashem shows be zocha to the or of using these tires properly and connect to Hashem. And learning how to eat B'Kedusha, learning how to connect him to Kedusha. If Nassan says eating B'Kedusha does not mean only you try, you want to have the right bracha, you want to have the right kavanah, he said, but at the very least use the energy from the food to do good things. At the very least use the energy, try to eat properly, try it the way you should eat. But at the very least use that energy for proper things that also is uplifting the sparks the way you're supposed to. So again, the bracha before is very important, the kavanah of the eating is very important. Learn a little something if you can. And Mizmor is like the bechin of the shir of Leviim, right? The kavanah is of the food, and the bracha enables you to do that, right? So that's the bechin of the kohen the avodah, and then you have the Yisrael Ma'amadim. That's what the Yisrael Klal said when they were standing by the korban, and Hashem shows bezocha to these amazing areas with so much opportunity to do so much. It's a very, very special week, and we should be zocha to use it right. To use it properly, to garb us and robe ourselves in the big Karuna, right? You can okay, all these beautiful things that for God and you can okay, and do these big yikudim, big tikkunim that we have the opportunity to do.
Amen.